Almost every play in the NFL ends with a hit, but some hits just go too far. You're about to see some of the most lethal hits in football history. You'll be surprised to see players get up after these hits, though not all of them do. Some of them altered body parts, and the craziest hits of all, they altered NFL history. This is the Gridiron. 10. Cam Chancellor. It wouldn't be a list of big hits without someone from the Legion of Boom. And Cam Chancellor was the one who laid more boom than the rest. On a December 23, 2012 matchup between the Niners and the Seahawks, Chancellor was in the giving spirit, and he was Vernon Davis's secret Santa. Davis ran a wheel route and was streaking for the end zone. This would have been either a touchdown or at least a completed catch near the goal line. But Chancellor gave Davis that early Christmas present. You do not want to be in the air and see number 31 flying at you. Let's be clear, Vernon Davis was no small guy, 6'3", 250 pounds. Still, it took him a minute to shake that one off. Hopefully, he also got aspirin as a stocking stuffer that year. 9. Vontaze Burfict. Give and you shall receive. That's the motto for Vontaze Burfict. In a close game against the Steelers in 2016, Antonio Brown went up to catch a high pass and just missed it. On his way back down, Burfict was there to meet him, leading with his helmet. Some say Brown was never quite the same after that moment. It was a dirty hit and Burfict got penalized, but some felt it wasn't enough. So on December 4, 2017, Juju SmithSchuster got revenge for all of Pittsburgh with a vicious blindside block that leveled Burfict. That's the biggest pancake you'll see from a wide receiver. Juju became a Pittsburgh hero. He even said, "After that hit, I don't have to pay for anything. When I go to bars, I don't pay for drinks or anything." 8. Lawrence Taylor. Every hit by Lawrence Taylor was vicious for those on the receiving end, but the most lethal hit was the famous one he had on Joe Theismann. Theismann got the ball on a flea flicker, but LT was still bearing down on him and jumped onto him. Theismann's leg broke, and his entire football career ended on this play. This one single hit had so many repercussions. It ended Theismann's career right then and there. It resulted in left tackles becoming some of the highest-paid players on teams in order to protect quarterbacks' blind sides, which resulted in Michael Orr being drafted in the first round by the Ravens and making some serious coin, which of course resulted in the famous movie The Blind Side, which led to Sandra Bullock winning the Oscar for Best Actress. She even thanked LT at the end of that movie. 7. Jack Tatum. LT isn't the only one to end a career with a hit. To give you an idea of what Jack Tatum was all about, he was once quoted as saying, "My idea of a good hit is when the victim wakes up on the sidelines with train whistles blowing in his head. I like to believe that my best hits border on felonious assault." Well, this one did. In a preseason game, Tatum smashed into Darryl Stingley so hard he knocked him out and paralyzed him. Reminder, this man was going this hard in a preseason game. 6. Sheldon Brown. The Eagles were playing the Saints in New Orleans, but they wanted to send a message the first chance they got. In the first minute of the game, Drew Brees floated up a pass to Reggie Bush in the backfield and left him completely exposed. Sheldon Brown hit Bush so hard, for a moment his feet were pointed at the ceiling of the Superdome. It's bad enough when a player is slow to get up after a big hit, but then in Bush's case, it was even worse because he realized he wasn't ready to get back up. And then he tried to dog walk back to his bench. Sheldon Brown's hit was so vicious, it altered Reggie Bush's species.
Had Sheldon Brown out in the flat to come.
5. Bernard Pollard. Bernard Pollard played safety in the NFL for 9 years. He played in Tennessee, Baltimore, Houston. But where he made the most impactful play of his career was when he played for Kansas City. In 2008, the year after the Patriots lost to the Giants in the Super Bowl after their undefeated season, they were playing the Chiefs in the first game of the season. Brady dropped back to pass, and while he was standing straight-legged, Pollard lunged at him from down low. He tore both Brady's ACL and MCL, and Brady missed the entire 2008 season. This play made history in the league, as it instituted a new rule change: no more hitting a quarterback below the knees. People say you can thank Brady for that major rule change. Nope, it's Bernard Pollard who you should thank.
Randy Moss, and Moss lost the football, and Tom Brady got hit.
4. Ryan Clark. Nowadays, Ryan Clark gives you the hard-hitting analysis on ESPN shows like Get Up. But back in his playing days, he used to give you the hard-hitting, well, actual hits. He was known for knocking players flat. Like in this game against the Patriots, Wes Welker went over the middle, and on a tipped ball, Clark launched into Welker, leaving Welker doing turf angels. But worse than that one was in the 2008 AFC Championship game against the Ravens. The Steelers were up 23-14. The Ravens had the ball with under 4 minutes to go. Willis McGahee had both of Baltimore's touchdowns, and the Ravens were intent on continuing to go to him in hopes of making it to the Super Bowl. Ryan Clark put an end to those dreams with a leveling hit, one that kept both he and McGahee on the ground. McGahee even had to be taken off the field on a stretcher. Clark ensured that it was the Steelers that made it to the Super Bowl, and he made sure people knew that you do not go over the middle when you play against Pittsburgh.
As if he did.
Oh yeah, I think it's his ball. It's whether he was down there or not.
3. Eric Smith. Ryan Clark's hit determined which team made it to a Super Bowl. How about a hit that altered something much more physical? In a game where the Cardinals were trailing the Jets late, Carson Palmer threw one up for Anquan Boldin in the end zone, but he led Boldin right into trouble. Eric Smith smashed into Boldin and knocked him out. Pure helmet to helmet. There was half a minute left in the game, and the Cardinals were down by 21. The last thing you want is a star receiver getting concussed at this point in the game. But it was worse than that. Boldin had to have surgery to repair a sinus fracture. In his best Kanye impression, they used 8 plates and 40 screws for his face. And he had to have wires inserted into his jaw to correct his bite. That's right, Eric Smith unleashed a hit so vicious it gave a man an underbite.
What they've done in the past. Well, let's see if he was over and had possession. No.
2. Malcolm Jenkins. We have another Philadelphia Eagle on our list, Malcolm Jenkins. In Super Bowl 52, the Eagles were facing off against the Patriots. In the beginning of the second quarter, Brady found Brandon Cooks wide open. In fact, Cooks was so wide open, he became indecisive as to which direction he wanted to head. Unfortunately, he went the wrong way down a one-way street, and Malcolm Jenkins blasted him so hard he plastered him to the dirt. This hit knocked Cooks out for the rest of the Super Bowl. The Eagles wound up winning a shootout, 41-33. You don't think that the hit had any effect? You don't think the Patriots could have made up some points with their star receiver? This hit, among several other big plays, is one of the reasons Philly earned that Super Bowl win.
Caught the ball, a little disoriented, turned around, looped back around, and never...
1. Mo Lewis. Okay, so the Patriots didn't win that Super Bowl because of that Jenkins hit. But all the Super Bowls that the Patriots have ever won were really all thanks to this hit. Drew Bledsoe of the Patriots was up against the Jets, down 7 in the fourth quarter and trying to make something happen. No one was open, so he took off running. As Bledsoe neared the sideline, Mo Lewis popped him. And Bledsoe wasn't getting back up. And the Patriots' bitter rival, the Jets, unwittingly gave their nemesis a superpower. Because this ushered in the age of Tom Brady. Yes, this was when the unknown 6th-round pick Tom Brady first stepped into the game. And the rest was history. A history we're all too familiar with. That hit created 2 decades of AFC dominance with 6 Super Bowl wins for the New England Patriots. An NFL timeline that only happened because Mo Lewis's big hit altered history. Some of these big hits by NFL players do more than just rock their opponent and set their bells ringing. They decide Super Bowls, alter careers, initiate rules changes, and even create Oscar-nominated movies.